going to talk now to our international affairs editor, Philip Turle, who's joining me here on set. Philip, just tell us a little bit more about exactly what happened here.
Well, we know more now as the hours go by. This is all another very depressing story out of the United States. It's true that we've commentated, you and I, on dozens of shootings and massacres in the US, and the question that always comes back is, well, when is this going to stop? And for the moment, it actually appears like, well, it doesn't look as though it's going to actually stop anytime soon. So what we know so far is that the young man has been identified. His name is Robert Crimo. He's 22 years old. He's a white male. He was firing from a rooftop on this parade, this 4th of July Independence Day parade, which is celebrated right the way across the United States every year. Few details about what we know about him. He's described himself as a musician. His pseudonym is Awake the Rapper. His online postings included some violent content which have alluded to guns and to shootings. Now, one YouTube video which has been uncovered by the Chicago Tribune, which was posted 8 months ago, shows cartoon images of a gunman opening fire on people with a voiceover saying, "I need to do it. This is my destiny. Nothing can stop me, not even myself." So it appears like this was a premeditated shooting. This is not someone who's just gone on the rampage, who's got hold of a gun. This was a big, strong rifle that was used, and I think that was recuperated by police after the shooting took place. So what we have is 6 dead, 25 injured, 4 or 5 of them children amongst the injured in hospital, and as I said, no reason for the moment for understanding why on earth this took place and why the young man went on the rampage yesterday to kill all these people.
And as you said there really is no let-up, is there, Philip, in the numbers of US shootings?
Well, if you look at the numbers, I mean, it is incredibly depressing reading, Stuart. I mean, the 250 mass shootings in the US as of June the 8th this year, that's already a month ago. That means an average of 4 mass shootings per week, and one per day mass shooting in the US leaves 4 people or more dead. Now, there are 40,000 deaths a year from shootings in the US. This is all according to the Gun Violence Archive. And since, remember the shooting back in Uvalde in Texas back on the 24th of May when there were 19 children who were killed and 2 of their teachers. There have been 38 shootings in the US since then, 38 mass shootings. So we're far away from seeing an end to this. And to sum it up, really, you have to look at the number of weapons there are circulating. There are more weapons in the US than there are people. 393 million guns circulating freely in the United States for 326 million people. So what are the authorities doing? Well, it's all the way down the line. President Biden has said, I'm going to try to stop the spread of gun violence, but he is face to face with a hardline Republican sect within the Senate, which is saying, no, we're not going to go against the Second Amendment, which allows everybody to have a weapon and to use it in the US. And that's why nothing is moving. There is some kind of legislation afoot to try to reduce the handing out of weapons to young people and to make sure they are mentally balanced before they're able to buy a weapon. But President Biden has said this is not really enough and not nearly going far enough as he would like to do during his presidency. He really hasn't done what he would like to do to try to restrict gun violence in the US.
And of course, Philip, this happened on 4th of July. I mean, it's supposed to be a day, isn't it, where everyone comes together, a joyous occasion. And yet Americans are really said to be feeling very, very gloomy, very, very divided as well.
Yeah, and if you look at the opinion polls in the US, I mean, they're pretty explanatory about what's going on. Are you happy with the state of the United States? 85% say it's going in the wrong direction. That's 7% more in just 1 month. Only 14% say it's going in the right direction, 7% less than a month ago. And is there dissatisfaction with the country's direction between Republicans and Democrats? 92% of Republicans are dissatisfied and 78% of Democrats. The Americans are face-to-face, like the rest of us, with an increase in inflation, with an increase in gas prices, gasoline prices. But there's also other elements which have made people feel depressed. The Supreme Court doing away with the constitutional right to abortion, the increase in shootings, as we've just been saying, which have now gone from the street into the classroom, into churches, into the 4th of July parades. No end in sight to that happening. There's a huge teenage mental crisis in the United States. There's a huge increase said 18% more teenagers saying they feel persistent feelings of sadness. And basically, Stuart, the country is divided between those who are more rural, conservative and religious, and those who are more progressive, suburban and intellectual. And both sides feel that they're under threat from each other. And Donald Trump has come into the middle of this and severely divided America as well, tried to formulate his program for his upcoming re-election bid. So it looks like the US is severely divided. Gun crime is a result of that as well. And no end in sight to any of it at the moment.
Philip, thanks very much. Philip Turle, International Affairs Editor.